Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I thought today I would answer a question which I had on my Battle of the Pianos video, which was where I compared the sounds of Ravenscroft to pure piano. If you've not seen that video, I'll put a link in the description below so you can. Right, so the question that I was asked was, how do I record from Ravenscroft? Because Ravenscroft doesn't have a native record option, and can I do it through AUM? Today I'm going to look at 3 different ways of doing that. So the first way is probably the most simple, obvious one, which is using this record option at the bottom of a channel. When that's checked and you set the transport going in AUM, AUM will record any information from that channel and save it in the file structure that AUM and AudioShare uses. So let's have a look at this first of all. We've got Ravenscroft in the channel here. That's connected to my Arturia Keylab, and it's just going out to the standard out at the moment. So if we hit this R button, this arms the channel. Nothing's recording at the moment, and nothing will happen until I start the transport. When I start the transport, then anything that's played on that channel will be recorded. So let's do that. We'll hit this record button, and now Ravenscroft channel is recording. So let's play something. Okay, something simple there. Once we finish recording, we stop the transport, pause it, and best thing to do now is to disarm the channel by clicking that R button again, and it goes back to just being a grey circle. Now, you may ask, what has happened to that recording? What you need to do is to go up to the little hamburger menu in the top right, click that, click into Files, and then Recordings, because we were recording. Click on Recordings, and it will create a folder for the date and time the recording was made. So untitled, and it's the 14th of January, and that's the time of day. If we click inside there, we have a recorded WAV file. If we click on it, we can play it automatically within AUM. You get the idea. And what you can also tell there as well is it's not recorded anything from the other channel which my microphone is on. Now, if you want to actually have a look at that, you can manage recordings in AudioShare, assuming you've got AudioShare. If you haven't, it's well worth picking it up, because as an app, it allows you to actually look at your WAV files, see how big they are, make sure they're not blowing up anywhere. But also with something like this, you can then go into your tools, you can trim and fade them, and just cut it down like so. Save it, and we've now got a trimmed version. So a very simple way of doing a recording. One of the problems which you need to be aware of, I'll go back to AUM, is that as soon as you stop the recording on the transport here, the recording literally does stop. So this wasn't an issue in this case, but just imagine you have a sequencer playing and it's repeating over and over, and there's reverb on there, so you've got quite a long sound. Now, normally when you stop AUM and stop the playback, that reverb will ring out until it's died away completely. The recording stops dead at the same time in this situation. So what you can end up having is a nice big sound which suddenly cuts, which may well not be what you want. I mean, if you're working with a loop and you're creating a loop this way, you might be able to get away with it. But if you're trying to create a sample which you can then use in something, then this is a drawback. Method number 2 is one way of addressing that. And we're going to use another app, which is 4Pocket's Neon Audio Editor. What we're going to do now is open a second channel to work with, and what we'll do is in the effects slot we will put neon. But what we need to do is to get the information from Ravenscroft into neon. The way we're going to do this is to send the audio from Ravenscroft's channel to a mix bus. We'll use mix bus A, and we'll open mix bus A as an input on this channel, mix bus A. So anything that comes out of Ravenscroft will then be piped through into this one. And the reason I'm showing you to do it this way is if you've got several synths all feeding in, you can send them all to the same mix bus and they'll all come out the same place. Otherwise, if you're recording individual tracks, then they will all appear as individual tracks. Again, something you may want to do, but this is one way of getting one audio file for the session. So all we need to do here is actually quite straightforward, because within Neon it can work with the host transport or without it. What we can do here is just set it to be not synced to the host, so sync isn't switched on. And as soon as we hit record on this, it's Neon's playhead will start, and we can start recording. So let's do that now. So it's recording. The Mozart Sonata is a theme in their variations. That, however, wasn't one of the variations. Let's stop that now. And if we just squeeze this back in, we now have our recording in Neon, and we can play it back. Yeah, I think we've heard enough of that. Now, it's sat inside Neon, but we just need another step to actually be able to get our WAV file out, because the intention with this, I would guess, having created a WAV file, is you're going to use it somewhere, put it somewhere, do something with it. So what we need to do is to go to Menu and Save Changes, and let's call this piano. Oh, that's not how you spell piano. Let's try again. There we go. Hit save. And if we go onto the media bay, click on that. And has it appeared in here yet? No. What I tend to find within Neon is I need to change between the windows, and it should appear in our audio pool. There we go, piano. If we click, it's going to keep playing. I've got no control over this. Never mind. If we go into share sheet and put it in audio share, it will open within this. Where are we? Should be one called piano.wav, and again within audio share we can manipulate it and send it on to wherever we want to use it. The final way I want to show how you can record an app such as Ravenscroft and put it somewhere is using inter-app audio. Now, this is probably a sledgehammer to crack a nut in this case. I've used this approach when I've had a number of different channels all being sequenced and I want to send them to Cubasis in order to process them as a track and chop and change them and mix them around, all that sort of stuff. So what we'll do, let's get rid of this mix bus channel, and we will make Ravenscroft back to normal again. Let's it's normal output. What we'll do, if we close that down and we go into Cubasis, and here's one I did earlier. Let's delete that track. If we were wanting to take our audio that we're playing from Ravenscroft, we could just play it straight into Cubasis. But this way, if we want to just record the audio, we can create an audio track, and in our track routing, rather than it being a mono input, we can go to intrap audio, and from this we can select AUM, and we've got a whole, I think we've got 8 ports we can choose there. But if we choose the first port, it pings us straight back to AUM, and if we click on the output of our Ravenscroft and we send it externally to Cubasis, this is now linking Ravenscroft via AUM into Cubasis. And what this means is that we can, let's get that back to the beginning. We can set the transport going in Cubasis from AUM, record, stop everything, and then we'll find it in Cubasis. So what we do is we hit the record here, and it will start the normal counting on Cubasis when we do this. So you'll hear that with the metronome. Then we'll play something, and then we'll go and have a look. So that's all recorded. Oops, go away. Pause and stop. And we've not, as you see, we've not touched the transport up there. But if we click on our Cubasis icon here now, hopefully we should have, there we go, what we've recorded actually in Cubasis. So if we, oh, that's the reason. So that's another way of doing a direct recording from using Ravenscroft and then bringing it into Cubasis. And again, your WAV file is here. You can do any of your manipulations within Cubasis that you might want to do. You know, you trim it down, etc. So let's leap back into AUM. The only issue I tend to find when I've got AUM piping out into Cubasis is that if you close Cubasis down, then the connection is broken and this will crash and sulk, and it can be a bit of a nuisance and a bit of a nightmare. I use this approach when it seems to be the easiest option, but I think in preference, if I was recording a number of different audio sources, I'd probably use them all in Neon and then drag them all across. The advantage of this and the Neon approach over the basic recording option that I showed before is that you can stop playing, let the audio ring out, and then once it's gone, you can then hit stop, and that way you definitely got all of your reverb without anything being sort of sliced off at the end. That was intended to be a quick video, just talking about how you might be able to record some apps using AUM. So I hope that was useful. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment in the section below. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It does help the channel and helps direct the YouTube algorithm towards supporting the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please do so. Hit that subscribe button and that bell notification thing, which will tell you upload a new video. And until next time, thanks for watching.